Before we get really started, I want to take a moment and personally thank David. I wouldn't be here today without you, no doubt about that. I first met Dave right over there on the steps of Bailey Howe. He was collecting signatures for some petition or another. Gradually, his student activism turned into political activism, and eventually we became friends through the right balance of politics and a little bit of poker on the side. In another few weeks, David is stepping down, having served our community for 14 years in Montpelier, a heroic task. So let's give Dave a warm round of applause. Thank you. I also want to thank quickly Jerry Greenfield. Jerry is the Jerry in Ben and Jerry. And he was kind enough to donate some ice cream, which I hope people are enjoying over there. He told me 2 tubs serves 100 cones. So that's what we brought, 100 cones. But those are Ben and Jerry sized cones. So now we're improvising with some cups. Sorry about that. One of the exciting things about living in Vermont is having access to icons like Ben and Jerry, like Bernie Sanders or Bill McKibben, people who are very accessible right in our community. And for me, it's very humbling to be supported from someone who not only makes delicious ice cream and sells it around the world, but has truly created a socially responsible business model. And that means a tremendous amount for someone running for a little office like state legislature. Jerry gets what progressives are about. Since 1992, and I'd like to point out Dean Corrin, give a wave, Dean. Progressives, this district, right where we stand today, has been electing progressives to the State House. Dean was the first. And in fact, we've had the longest running streak of any district in the state of Vermont, and for that matter, any district in the country, to be continuously electing a third-party candidate. You should feel a lot of pride. The Vermont Progressive Party is easily the most successful third party anywhere in the country, and students and UVM have been part of that since day one. Now we have the opportunity, and I have the challenge, to keep that streak alive. With your help, I can do it. Vermont has a progressive culture, but it's not a coincidence, and it's not automatic. Every progressive victory comes because of hard work from lots and lots of people. If you're challenging the powers that be, it's never easy. You can never skate by and win, but the hard work is well worth it. With progressive leadership, we've been able to start a conversation about gay marriage and see it through to full rights for gay and lesbian couples. Thanks in part to progressive leadership, this year we saw a vote to close our aging nuclear power plant. The corporate giants that control the plant want to keep putting us at risk so they can earn more money, but the legislature said no. It's a big victory and one that paves the way for more renewable power sources in our state. But this victory was not a coincidence, and it was anything but automatic. Thanks to progressive leadership, we have strong medicinal marijuana laws and statutes that begin to address the concern of widespread genetically modified crops. Thanks to progressives, we have declared that groundwater in Vermont cannot be sucked dry by Pepsi-Cola and others who would happily bottle up our water and profit off our pristine reputation while our landfills overflow. These victories and more were hard fought, and they were only possible because people like me stepped forward and people like you rose to the challenge and put in the time to help us win elections. During the 2 years I served alongside Dave in Montpelier, I was proud to push a bill to legalize hemp, a crop that's vital for a sustainable world. I was also proud to help reduce the tax we put on wind farms by 50% so we can spur the power sources of tomorrow. But I'm not running to celebrate accomplishments of the past or even to preserve the progressive legacy. I'm running to be your representative in the state legislature for one simple reason. We have got to get serious about a sustainable future, and I am the right person to jumpstart that conversation. Everybody acknowledges we have to move away from our dependence on oil, but nobody is talking about what that will mean. What's it going to look like? We know we could face millions of people seeking refuge from environmental disasters around the country, and they'll come to Vermont. We have a lot of open space and we have plentiful water, but nobody is talking about what that will mean for those of us who live here today. I want us to talk about it. The conversation isn't going to be easy, but we can't procrastinate any longer. Most people running for office this year are going to be talking about jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. And fair enough. The New York Times has suggested unemployment could be as high as 17%. But that doesn't mean we can avoid making renewable energy and sustainability a priority. I'm tired of people acting like jobs and the environment are opponents. You better believe we're going to create jobs when windmills dot our landscape, when more and more people install solar hot water and beef up the insulation in their homes. It will create jobs, just like it will create jobs when we stop importing apples from Chile and our clothes from China. A sustainable future is destined to create jobs because climate change is caused when we stop depending on neighbors and rely instead on countries halfway around the world to get through each and every day. A little example, from 2002 to 2007, direct sales from farms in Vermont grew by over $13 million, giving Vermont by far the highest per capita sales of local agriculture in New England, something we should be proud of. It means $13 million more dollars went directly into the pockets of farmers like Zuckerman. Probably not all $13 million for Dave, but the money didn't go to out-of-state shareholders who own Shaw's or Price Chopper. The money stayed right here in our community. So why me? Why do I want to knock on doors, talk to strangers for 6 straight months just so I can be a politician? It's not because I love wearing a suit. And it's not for the money. There's not a lot of money in Vermont politics. The Vermont Legislature is a small-time operation. I suppose I could get a job at a nonprofit and do good work, but you know what? The chances are my job would involve organizing people around the state and pleading with them to go to Montpelier and demand change. I'd rather work hard right now and get all of you to help me and earn a seat in the legislature so I can be there every day, standing up and demanding change at every turn. I'm running for anybody who's ever turned away from the news in disgust. I'm running for anybody who's ever thought politicians were a bunch of crooks, nothing but out-of-touch elitists lacking any real sense of our lives. I'm running to interrupt that perception. I'm running for anyone who watches The Daily Show just to stay sane. I'm running for anybody who shudders to think we're still at war in Iraq and escalating in Afghanistan. I'm running because I'm worried about the war on our planet. And I'm running because I refuse to let corporate greed win. I'm running because I think the next 20 years are vital to the planet's future, and I want to play a role and find solutions. To me, it's not about being politically correct. It's about correcting a broken political system. I'm running because I was an effective legislator, and I was just getting started. I know how the game works in Montpelier. Over 10% of the bills I sponsored became law, and that was my first term. Another 4 of my bills got incorporated into larger bills and became law. In my very first year, the state workers named me Legislator of the Year because I tried hard to stop the job cuts handed down by our Republican governor. There are many good people in Montpelier, and when I served, I worked closely with lots of Democrats and even a few Republicans. But too often, good people cave to the party line. When you're part of a club, there's intense pressure to follow the leader. As a progressive, I was and I will be free to follow my conscience and serve your needs, not the needs of Democratic leadership. I have seen Democrats right here on campus promise students they would work to lower tuition, only to betray them when Democratic leadership makes it clear they got to have their vote on state budget. I'm running so you don't have to accept that reality. Yesterday was Earth Day. To me, any day that I eat food, breathe the air, and drink water is Earth Day. But somehow our political discussion ignores our connection with the Earth. If you elect me, I will fight every day to change the debate in Montpelier. If we get it right here in Vermont, if we succeed in crafting a sustainable model, other states will follow our lead. With your help, I can have repercussions well beyond our borders. But let's be clear. Candidates with my views wouldn't be taken seriously in a lot of places around the country. We would have no chance of getting elected. We're lucky to live here in Burlington, but victory isn't a given. To succeed, we need interns, we need volunteers, and mostly we need lots of votes. This campaign will be about issues, but I also want it to be fun. Let's use performance art, ice cream, viral videos, and whatever it takes to get the message out. If we're going to launch a new kind of debate in state government, we better get out of the box during the campaign. So please send your ideas this way. You are fundamental to my success. I want to thank all my friends who showed up today, my parents, steadfast supporters of my desire to have an impact, and mostly I want to thank all of you who I don't know yet. Enjoy some ice cream. Make sure we have your email so we can get in touch in the fall. Make sure you're registered to vote. Look up Vote Pearson on Facebook or get involved at christopherpearson.org. Good luck with the rest of your semester. Have a great summer and come back and join the campaign this fall. With your help, I will win. We will all win in November. Thank you very, very much.